Hello everyone, it's been a while. I've been very busy with work, and also then I got really badly sunburnt whilst doing some DIY, and couldn't really face being out in the garage in heat. It is impossibly warm, and I'm not sure how much I'm going to do, but I'm just going to continue chipping away really at this boot floor area, and then I'll make up a patch to go in there, I think, and start thinking about that area. Time is of the essence now. I really want all the welding done within about the next 2 weeks, which is a massive undertaking when I'm still working what is essentially a 9 to 5, and sometimes very often more than 9 to 5. So I probably won't record as much as I have done. You'll sort of know the process. This next bit is going to be me getting hot and sweaty and dirty, which, you know, some of you perverts out there might quite like it. I don't, so I won't be recording it. It might also involve me swearing quite a lot. Yeah, so that will be that kind of action all the way around here until that's all cleaned. Probably less than halfway through doing all of this, and I'm sweating like a badger. Oh, dearie me. That's pleasant. But what it's revealing is a boot floor that most SD1 owners would dream of. Most of this, like the problem areas are that dimple there, which on the diesel was completely missing. This bit, which is where the spare wheel can stand upright. Not a lot of people know that on SD1s, because the wheel is usually lying flat here, and the strap goes from there over the top to here. But in some of the design and like brochures, they show the wheel can actually stand up in this wheel well here against there and be under the parcel shelf, so then you can put deep items in. So it's a really flexible design, and then in which case, I don't know, I don't think you actually strap it in. Oh no, maybe you do, maybe it goes off that. That must be it. Yeah, see, Rover thought of everything. Strap between there and here instead, and it holds the wheel up vertical. Anyway, I'm rambling. That is usually rotten. That's all really solid. There's no rust. Apart from that bit I chopped out where the toe bracket was, and maybe a little bit in here. That bit, that tiny corner, will need to be patched. But really, it just goes to show again what a solid car this is and will be once it's finished. Right. That I'm calling 90% done, and really pleased, because the only other bit, I mean, that is all really nice metal under there, because here I've been smashing it with the chisel and it hasn't gone through. That hole is the drain plug for a car that should have a sunroof, which of course this car doesn't have. It's a bit frilly in this area, but they should be two fairly localized patches. There's a tang of metal poking up here, and that's because underneath you got the hanger for the exhaust pipe, and the brackets will rust from the backside. This is the bit I brutalized with a chisel in the last video, I think. So that needs to come out. That's not a big deal, but really, it again, if it hadn't have had a tow bar, it would have basically been mint, which is curious. I'm not going to take that patch out. I'm just going to cut that bracket off and smooth it all out so it looks nice. Then there's the problem of the residue from all that sound deadening stuff. That needs to come out from anywhere I'm welding, because it will just catch fire, turn into oil, run into my welds and look shit. So there's two ways of doing that. One is wire brush it, but it tends to just smear. The other is use old petrol to kind of digest it, wipe it off with rags, and then go over it with a wire wheel. So I'm going to go find some shitty old petrol now and leave that to soak, and then find some rags while I'm doing that. I've also managed to pick up, I think, quite a nice cut on the back of my arm somewhere, which is from the end of there. You can still see my skin and fur stuck to it. I was so paranoid about shoving my eyeball on the end of it that I forgot about the backside of my arm. Never mind. I have here the disgusting old fuel that I drained out of Dotty. ages ago. I keep stuff like that because it's handy for, well, doing this, cleaning off really horribly oily stuff. And then I've got some old rags, polishing cloths and things. Oh yeah. Right, that has been soaking for about an hour now, and lo and behold, most of it is now just a slurry that can be mopped out, which is good. I'm going to splash a bit more on this side because I haven't really done that yet, and then I will probably go in because I'm quite bored of this now. Ugh. In fact, I might leave these overnight with the rags saturated. It smells utterly foul, this old fuel, but it's doing the job. That's the important thing. Just show you that bit before I leave the rags in. Really nice metal, apart from that bit. That corner, I cannot believe how good that is. That's all solid metal, no rust whatsoever. Quite remarkable, and quite a relief, because I don't have that much time left to get this car done, up to the body shop, clear coated, and then back. And I think I have still got more work than I know about at the moment, so the sooner I get on with it, the sooner I get it done, the sooner I can relax and get on with other projects. See you later. 24 hours later, and we have mostly evaporated off crap and then sticky, gooey, oily sludge in the other bits. So I'm going to do the last bit of the scraping, and then hopefully I can get on and actually do the final cleanup. That'll be the most satisfying bit, so I will continue. Well, that is a sight that I didn't expect to see. Pretty much needs one repair here and one repair there. That is it for the boot floor. It's absolutely great. Oh, and obviously that massive hole, but that's rust from tow bar, not from Rover. And then these bits don't count because they're not actually attached to the boot floor. So yeah, really good. I am now seriously lightheaded because that is about 20 minutes of breathing in sterile petrol fumes and partly digested tarmac or constituents of. So I'm going to go find something a little bit more gentle now, some panel wipe or something. I think I've still got thinners left to do the final cleanup, and then I'll give it a bit of a wire brush. That absolutely reeks now, and I have to get out of here, so I'm just going to run away, but it's looking pretty lovely. Right, note to self, if I ever do this again, put something under the car first, because I've ended up with a horrible mess, like a weird semi-molten slurry of shite. And also tidy up your tools. That's really annoying. Yeah. Oh dear, more pointless work. While the solvents evaporate off at the back of the car, I thought I'd work at this end. This is not the correct bonnet. This is a Series 2 bonnet, so it has the trim around the headlights, and that really is the only difference. But this one is knackered, as you can see, so although it's silver, it's wrong, and the patina, it would have been nice to keep it, but all the strength has gone under the front, so it's just going to get worse until it snaps off, basically, and you're never going to be able to control the alignment with the wings. So this bonnet is for the scrap bin. That bonnet obviously came off the twin plenum, and it has the most amazing patina on the top surface, but on the underside it's brand new. So there's a bit of corrosion starting down there, but of course I've got great access to clean all that up and treat it, and then I can flood that with wax oil, and then hopefully the top surface would just need a rub down, and then when it's clear coated it should look really pretty damn cool. This is a Series 2 bonnet, so it does have the holes. I'm gonna weld those up and hope that it can rust in so that you won't see my welding, and then I'm going to try and leave this front perfect as it is because it looks really cool. And then it's got the 2 holes, and then this car, although it should have a proper badge, is going to have the original skeletal badge because I just think it's going to make it look that much cooler. And the other benefit of having rusty bonnet is that the roof is going to be left as rust as well, so you should have rusty bonnet, rusty roof. And that leaves us with the question about the tailgate. I still cannot find, for love nor money, a halfway decent Series 1 tailgates. There's been a few come up on eBay, but when you look closely at the pictures, they are completely rotten and somebody's just, you know, toshed them over. So still looking for one of them. If it comes to the deadline, this one can stay as a temporary measure because it isn't going to affect MOT worthiness or anything like that. So I'm going to get this bonnet off, put that one on, and see how it looks. And I might even go and put another set of wheels on just so it looks like a completed car, and we can get an idea of what it's actually going to look like finished. Purists are going to hate this car, however I think that's going to look chuff and cool, especially when it's got its proper badge on and this is all welded up and tidied. Obviously it needs to be gapped properly as well, but it should look really lovely. I don't know why I keep saying lovely in a particularly effeminate way, but that's what I'm doing. You can see how much dust has collected on this car already, but again, look how good that wing is. There's never been any filler in that. There's no rust in it, and this is why hopefully this side of the car goes a lot faster than that side, which of course had to have the new wheel arch lip. Yeah, looking good. Just took the front bumper off to investigate suspected crustiness, and there is a bit, but it's all hidden, so I'm not going to do any welding on this. I'm literally, in fact it doesn't need any welding, it's just going to get rubbed down and painted. There is a hole here, but am I going to do anything with that? I might stick a holding patch over the top, quite a rough one, just because I'm running out of time on this car, and I think the guy's buying it watches these videos, and I'll tell him about that and he won't care. He was pretty relaxed about it, because the rest of the car's so good. I quite like the bumperless look, and that's not stuck there for styling like a Boss Zuku car. It's because Dotty has become slightly incontinent from the headlamp wash wipe kit, so I'll go and get a bucket and drain that. But I quite like it. It's mean. I can't be bothered to do any welding today because it's too hot, and although the breeze has got up, it's still not, you know, something I want to be doing today. I'm going to try and get that window out though, because I need to repair that. I need to repair that bit in there. I don't have a particularly good success rate with these windows. It's just held in by the seal, but they're real tight things. In the past, I've managed to do lots of things. Break them is number one on my list of things not to do again. I did that by pushing with my foot, and my foot just went straight through. I then popped one out another time and it landed on the floor and broke, which was really annoying. The rest of the time they've been stuck fast, and I've only got them out by cutting the seals on the inside so it would come out, and that way I preserved the glass, but I had to buy another seal. They are available, but any time I spend money on this car, it's a kick in the balls again. So I'm going to try and get it out, keep the seal, and not break the glass. That's the plan. In readiness for that, I've removed the seat belt, I've removed the speaker cover trim, which unbelievably hadn't split and cracked. So it's a bit deformed, but all of the vinyl's good. So that can be softened up with like water, basically. Pressed flat and then stiffened up with either fiberglass resin or a mix of PVA and water, but I won't have time to do that, or I can't really be bothered to do that. But both of them, well, that one's good. This one's had it here, but that'll all glue back down, and yeah, a lot better than most of them. Anyway, enough chatter. I will now attempt the impossible. Oh yeah, and I also lubed up all the way around with WD-40 in a vain attempt of trying to get it out. Just when you think you're making progress, that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a hole. I thought I would have a little bit there to repair. I don't. I have a lot of there to repair. That is seriously annoying, man. Right, that's very, very, very frustrating. That's all okay. That'll just clean up. I didn't damage the seal, but there's so much corrosion embedded in the bottom of the seal that I don't think that seal is ever going to be reusable again. What I might do is take the glass out of it, clean that out as best I can, and leave it to soak in rust-eating fluid. I don't know. Oh, what saved it is it's got one of those like ribbons, this stuff still stuck in it, so hopefully that's prevented a lot of the rust from binding to the seal. Damn it. I'm going to put the camera down while I have a little cry.